Hey all, and welcome to this week's favorite collection here at the CIOPCC. This is going to be a pretty long one, so we're going to jump right into it. I'm looking at Batmobiles. At one point in my life, I thought I was going to have every Batmobile that was ever made. I was out of my mind, of course, but I did buy an awful lot of them, and you're going to see an awful lot. Now, I have no doubt I'm going to miss some of them today. Let's start out down here on the floor. That's a Hot Wheels Elite with one of the Corgi Batmobiles behind it. Another Hot Wheels Elite is this tumbler over here. And up above it there, you have a couple of different versions. That's the Mezco 66 Batmobile, a Hot Wheels Batmobile. And even down in that Playmobil set, there is a Batmobile that you could drive around and stick your Playmobil character that you made in it. Over next to it is some Johnny Lightnings. These are actually Batmobiles that you would put together. There's two of them there, as well as a Batboat and a Bat Gyro. So you would actually assemble these. Also on this shelf, we have several more of the Corgis. In the larger scale, these are all die-cast. And then down here at the end, we have the Super 7 Reaction Batmobile. As you can see with Batman and Robin in there. Now down here we have some more of the Hot Wheels Batmobiles, as well as this cool boxed version of the Elite one. I have one open as well that you just saw a second ago. And I have no idea. I don't remember who made this one. This is a nice 60s version, right from the 1960s of the 66 Batmobile. Speaking of which, over on this side, we have the Mattel version. Now, I love the 66 Batmobile. It is my favorite of all the Batmobiles. This Mattel version is nicely scaled for the 6-inch figures. The McFarlane version down here is a little small. Still a nice Batmobile, though. Up above it, we have a whole bunch of Hot Wheels. You'll notice that most of these are from the 60s show. And every one of these is different. And I have no doubt that there are more of them out there with other variations. They love doing that Batmobile. Down here, this is Jada Toys. Oh, some more Hot Wheels and some more Corgi. Up here, we got some more Corgi. Batman in the comics, between the comics, the movies, and the shows, has had a ton of different Batmobiles. Come down around this side, we'll get a few more of the small versions. All die-cast again. And there's the one in the back. And I said I wasn't going to show you any Batmobile, non-Batmobiles, but that Killer Moth car is just too cool. Here we have one of the Justice League versions. Around this side, there's one of the black tumblers. And down below is one of the camo tumblers. More Corgis. These are all really great cars. As you can see, they did some of the villain cars as well. Joker-mobile, there's a Catwoman car. And as you saw earlier, even the Killer Moth-mobile. Down here we've got this Lights and Sounds Batmobile from the Batman, which I know I forgot when I did my favorite collection of the Batman last week or the week before. Down below there's another tumbler with Lights and Sounds from Mattel. This is another one of the Johnny Lightnings, but this is up in the 1/24 scale, rather than being the smaller version that you saw earlier of the assemble yourself Batmobiles. This is the Arkham Knight Batmobile. That one was done as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, still in the box. And there's another one of the Elites. Hot Wheels did these Elites. They were supposed to be a little nicer than the regular releases. This is the cover for the Hot Toys 6-scale Batman Returns Batmobile. And of course, up here is the 6-scale tumbler that they also did. So now let's swing back around over this way. Kenner and Hasbro after they bought Kenner, loved to release and re-release and re-release stuff. Here are 4 different versions of the animated series Batmobile done in different decos and colors with different included Batmen. Those are all re-releases of this car right here. This is the regular first release they did of the animated series Batmobile. Down here we have a few other Batmobiles, we have a radio controlled version from the new Batman Adventures. This is one of my favorites. This is the Dark Knight collection that Kenner did from the Burton movies. Really nice. Over here we have another stealth launch Batmobile. That's another camo. And a couple that I showed you last week from the Batman collection, both the Batwave, Batlink one, and the Batmobile that has lights and sounds. Now, let's talk about Batman Forever. You haven't seen too many of those yet, and here's a Batman Forever Batmobile on the Batcave. That Batcave is a fantastic playset, by the way. And that is the Batmobile from the Batman Forever movie. Up over on this side, we have some box Batmobiles back there. Usually these are repaints of ones that I had already open. You're going to see a whole garage setting of a whole bunch of these Batmobiles. But these are usually the repaints. Like I said, Kenner and Hasbro just love doing that. Down here we have a maquette that the Warner Brothers studio put out. We have another one of the Batman Brave and the Bold Batmobiles, as well as a Batman Brave and the Bold transforming Batmobile. I'll do a whole Batman Brave and the Bold collection video eventually. This is one of the Jaded Toys. You can always tell one of theirs because they had the little die-cast Batman with them. And these are more of the Corgis. Now, if you thought I was all done, let's go around over to here and look at another Mezco, this time from the Nolan movies, another tumbler. And as we come around here, we get into some Lego, as well as the C3 sets from Art Asylum. Remember those? They did some building sets. Speaking of Lego, there's the big, huge tumbler still in the box down there, 1,830 or 69 pieces in that set. Down around on this side, we have a whole bunch of the Jada Toys ones. These are in the larger scale, and each one of these, I really like these. They've done them for every movie so far. And they include a little die-cast Batman with them, which I think is pretty cool. And down under them, again, we have a couple of Corgis. You'll notice that some of these, Corgi did them in more than one scale. These are the smaller scale versions of the larger ones you saw earlier. Here's the Ultimate Edition of the Batmobile, another large 1,000-piece Lego set. Up over on this side, we have one of the large Mego Batmobiles. I'll show you the small one here in a minute, but that's the big one that was for the 8-inch figures. One of my favorite Batmobiles again, the DC Direct Batman the Animated Series Batmobile. Unlike the one that you saw for the 5-inch, which is woefully small, this one is nice and big. So let's come down around this side. I said I'd show you another Mego. Over on this side, we have some Batman Returns, the Tim Burton stuff. So we have several of those. Die-cast, different scales. And another one of the Mego Batmobiles is the Comic Action Heroes version. Mine is missing the windshields, sadly. So I have to get one with windshields one of these days. Up here, if you thought the Corgis were all done, well, you were wrong. There's the Catwoman car. More Batmobiles. So, that's a pretty good sized collection so far, but wait, there's more. Up there on the top shelf. Let's zoom in. It's sort of like having a garage. So, there's a camo Batmobile, versions from the different shows, the different lines, the different movies. Pretty much everybody is covered up there with at least one Batmobile of some sort. There's even the Superpowers one down there. There's a couple of RC Batmobiles up above it. You can see that's a great way to see them all angled like that. You can step back and get a good view of everybody. So that's pretty much all of my Batmobiles. I'm sure I'm missing a few. I have no doubt I'm missing a few. But What can we say? It's about as best as I can do. Until next week, please subscribe, and I will talk to you later.